Hey everybody, today we're going to be taking a look at some Darkest Dungeon. If you've never played Darkest Dungeon before, I would highly recommend it. It's a very enjoyable, difficult game. As we were discussing last time, I really enjoy difficult games. I think that they add a little bit of something that other games don't have. And if you think that this game is entirely RNG based, then all I have to say to you is get good, scrub. You're bad. I have about, according to Steam, I have like 10 hours in this game. That isn't accurate. I have somewhere closer to 30, as I have this on PlayStation, PC. But it did not take me 30 hours. Hell, it did not take me 10 hours to become fully cognizant of how to play Darkest Dungeon. Now here, what we're doing right now is we're just getting provisions, we're getting ready to go into the Warrens. There's nothing really spectacular going on with this foray. I just kind of wanted to do a little something different than just having a GIF in the background with some music. And speaking of music, we're not going to have any music today. It's just going to be Darkest Dungeon. Because that's all the ambiance that you need. Let's be honest.
Swine, we must first scout their squalid homes.
We have Michael, the Crusader, up front, followed by Connor,
Watch your step.
followed by Pito Huey, followed by Soldat. And in that order, it's a Crusader, a Bounty Hunter, an Occultist, and a Musketeer. Now, I always have an Occultist. I don't think I've ever done a single map. No, I've done a couple. But it's pretty rare that I don't use an Occultist, because Occultists are very, very good. Right here, I'm checking the map, figuring out where I'm going to go. To explore all the rooms and yet not miss any good treasures and stuff.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
I do love this game though. This game is absolutely phenomenal. When I'm activating torches there's a bar on top. And that bar goes down over time, and with some attacks, and those torches make it get a little bit bigger. And what that bar does is, depending on its size, it has different effects. The lower the light, the greater the chance of you being ambushed, or being harmed, or damage being dealt to you is. However, the loot is far better. If the torchlight is high, then you have a high chance of surprising your enemies. And see, that right there is why I keep an Occultist around. Occultists are the only real good healers. And like I said earlier, if you need a lot of time to play this game, then you're not playing it right. Any RPG, as long as you have enough RPG experience, you should understand how this game works. Yes, it's brutal. Your characters are going to die. That's just how it is. You have to accept that. Characters are going to die at inopportune times. That's why stunning, bleeding, poisoning, all these things are at your disposal to slowly whittle away the enemy.
Executed with impunity.
And I hate these spiders, especially the spitty ones, but Oh well. Connor's pretty good. He dodges. He doesn't care. This is actually one of my first forays with a musketeer.
Be gone, fiend.
I didn't really know much about them. I just installed them. I don't have any of the DLC, as I've not yet beaten Darkest Dungeon. I've not forayed into the dungeon, the Darkest Dungeon, 3 times.
This expedition at least.
And I don't really want to get the DLC until I've done that. Trinkets are a very valuable and important thing to keep note of. As with your trinkets, they will upgrade various things. Oh, I missed a curio in there. Good thing I got that. This is a pretty typical setup for me. Crusader, Bounty Hunter, Occultist. And then usually I swap out the Musketeer for a Jester to deal with stress. I'm not going to get too much into the finer details of this game, as I think it's something that's better if you just play it yourself to understand. I'm not a tips and tricks guy.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
But with enough forethought and planning onto how you're going to tackle each foray into a dungeon, you can very easily win most matches, most fights.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Wealth beyond
treasure.
measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
I kind of wish there's a way to get a little bit more inventory space. I understand that you need to throw things away. It's a very common thing. You need to throw away things that you don't need and take treasure with you. The trade-off being that you're going to lose things that you do need, potentially in combat, to hold treasure. But I think a couple extra slots wouldn't hurt. Or maybe if stacks got a little bit higher. But that's more of a personal gripe than a gripe with the game. The game itself does not necessarily... is not at fault for that. Ooh, good heal.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
A lot of this game is grinding, as most RPGs are. And if you do enough of the grinding, then the actual bosses are not super difficult. Ooh, we're gonna go with a vulnerability hex there. See if we can get a shot
As the
off.
fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Well, I guess we're not getting that musketeer sniper shot off, but we're gonna get the sidearm off, hopefully. Nope, we got a miss. Yeah, sidearm doesn't typically hit. But it does feel good when you get a sidearm kill.
Press this advantage.
And
Them
it
no
boosts
quarter.
speed, I believe.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Trapped chest. Wonderful. Phenomenal. Got a nice little map there. This is actually pretty... I got pretty lucky on this, this little foray. With that map, as that revealed most of the map, so... I know where traps are, I know what to avoid. Having a hard time getting back into that room, but... oh well. Bounty hunters are good at disarming traps. Bounty hunters are in general just some of the best units in the game. With occultists, I would say. Another map. Wonderful. Oh, look at that. You see, they got surprised there because my torchlight was really high. And that just increases the chances that a surprise attack happens.
Annihilated.
Get that aimed shot off. Wonderful kill. Sold that. Getting another fine kill. Putting another enemy in the bag. You know how it is. Ooh, nice dodge there by Pedo Huey. Oh, unfortunately, Pedo Huey has gotten hemophilia, which is less than ideal, as that reduces, or that increases, no, it reduces bleed resistance, which I think by like 50%, which is unfortunate because the occultist's healing has a chance to bleed, which is less than ideal.
Destroyed.
But oh well. That can be taken care of. What a shot indeed, Soldat.
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
And Soldat now has tapeworms. Wonderful. Precisely what we wanted. That was of course a joke. We don't want tapeworms. Tapeworms are pretty bad. And now Soldat has blight. Let's just move back over to Connor. I don't know why Soldat is opening everything. It's not a good idea. It's almost like snipers were not designed to, you know,
The sparkling eyes of youth.
be leading by taking things.
Merciless.
You're gonna fight a collector here. These are kind of like mini bosses. And like most mini bosses, when you're at least somewhat prepared, they're not very difficult. Look at that. It's not even the first turn and it's already halfway down. Almost. At a quarter of its original health. It's gonna summon as many of these little guys as it can, but that's literally not consequential as, well, we're just gonna kill him. That's just, he's dead. Goodbye.
The rats prepare to feast.
The rats prepared to feast.
Push on to the
Yes,
task's
indeed.
end.
Let me taking a look at what we got here. Just trying to, just taking a look at my artifacts. Artifact management is pretty important, especially when you get something like a head, which are typically quite good. yeah, I want to do something a little bit different than normal. Than me normally just talking to a mic. I wanted to kind of, a little bit of something that I like, a game here. If you like more games, if you want to see more Darkest Dungeon and stuff, let me know. I can do more little post commentaries like this. Typically, I think I'll put a little bit more forethought into them. I kind of just went onto this one because why not, but oh well.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Pack contains loot. And obviously this is a medium quest, which means that I can camp. Now, I don't necessarily need to camp, and actually I think I forgot about it in its entirety. But that's okay. Here, I'm gonna camp probably in this room. No, I guess not. I guess I won't camp at all. Wonderful. Eat some food, find some maggots, surprise them. You know how it is. About to just go in, wipe them out. Obviously, there's nothing too big, too difficult to fight in this foray into the dungeon. And this one was quite easy.
And driven into the mud. The swine folks
There we go, quest
labyrinth
complete.
may yet prove
Now we go back to the hamlet. Take our treasure. Let's take a look at what we got here. Michael's thick-blooded instead of light resist. Instead of Beastslayer, I mean. Connor, Dudgeter, Ruin Scrounger. Nothing here is too great. Nothing here is too bad. Stout is actually pretty good on Pito Huey.
the plume and the pistol. A fitting end to my folly, and a curse upon us all.
And that's the activity log there. You can take a look at what happened while you were gone. Ooh,
A
I'm
mighty
gonna take ourselves a
sword-arm
Crusader, it
anchored
looks
by
like.
holy purpose. A zealous warrior.
A zealous warrior indeed. Crusaders are quite good in the ruins, as that's where you're going to find most of the unholy abominations. I know you're just going to take a look here while I kind of go through the estate. Look around, upgrade some stuff, see what there is to do. Upgrade Soldat, upgrade a couple other characters. Upgrading these skills deals more damage, higher buffs, things like that. Things of that nature. The tavern and the church there both relieve stress while you are embarked on a quest. Sanitarium gets rid of diseases and quirks. Minus 20% damage is not good, so we're going to try and treat that. For the most part, you can ignore most of the illnesses that characters tend to have, but some of them, like hemophilia and the red plague, which is 75% bleed resistance, minus 75% bleed resistance. those are bad things. Kind of want to get rid of them. If they're on characters that you like, if not, then just get rid of the character. You kind of have to be willing to let your people go if they are not performing as you wish them to. I'm just going to keep that speed stone on him. Kind of gets rid of the debuff from the boots. -1 speed. The stone there adds +1 speed, so it just cancels that out. And then the boots have move resistance, so that's good. Again, Soldat Pito Huey. I'm not going to go into another foray, but I figured I'd show you a little bit of what I do, at least, before each foray into the dungeon. You kind of have to do this every time. Manage your trinkets, manage your move sets. Make sure everything is in harmony before you go into battle. Determine what your characters are and aren't good at. And of course, if you all... I'm about to leave in about a minute here. We're not going to do another expedition, we're just going to kind of get ready for it. If you would like to see more videos of this nature, if you would like to see more Darkest Dungeon, I have a couple other games I might put up. But of course, leave a comment below or message me, and I will do my best to get more videos like this out. Sorry I didn't have anything too interesting to say this time. As for the most part, I think that the gameplay kind of shows off what I'm doing a little bit better than I could necessarily say. So we're just going to leave it at that. In any case, I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.